Creating precise financial projections is vital for businesses aiming to make well-informed strategic decisions. Typically, estimating resource costs involves developing resource assignments. However, it is not mandatory to request these plans themselves. Instead, project managers can request resources after the project is created. The resource assignments related list allows efficient monitoring and management of resource assignments for a given demand. Let us learn about costs. It is recommended to record the financial aspects of a demand to facilitate demand planning and evaluation. Financial data can be manually entered following organizational guidance, policies, and templates. Alternatively, financial details can be specified by creating cost plans and resource assignments. Developing resource assignments allows for the documentation of resource costs. Cost plans and resource plans are delineated across specific time periods. ServiceNow functionality automatically generates cost breakdowns over these periods. Costs are categorized as either operational expenses or capital expenses. Furthermore, costs are aggregated and displayed at the program and portfolio levels. Now let's move to benefits. Benefit plans are crucial for capturing both financial benefits, such as increased revenue, and non-financial benefits, such as improvements in customer satisfaction scores. These plans are particularly valuable in enabling businesses to accurately quantify the potential benefits of a given initiative. The following terms are important to know and understand when working with demands in ServiceNow. The rate model calculates hourly rates based on specific criteria for planned and actual resource costs. Unlike labor rates, which are based on the user attribute only, a rate model can derive hourly rates based on up to 10 attributes. A rate model is a collection of multiple rate lines. A rate line is a unique combination of different criteria values that defines the hourly rate for a resource, group, or role for a specific date range. For the same set of criteria, you can create multiple rate lines with different rates for different date ranges, provided that the dates don't overlap. Planned capital includes capital expenditures or CapEx, which are funds a company uses to acquire, upgrade, and maintain physical assets such as property, plants, buildings, technology, or equipment. A company often uses planned capital to undertake new projects or investments. Planned operating looks into operational expenditures, or OPEX, which are a company's day-to-day expenses. Operating expenses include rent, equipment, inventory costs, marketing, payroll, and insurance. Total planned cost is used to identify the estimated cost of the demand or project. This field is automatically calculated based on the planned capital and planned operating fields. A budget cost is the cost requested for the demand. Discount rate is used to track the interest rate to determine the present value of future cash flows. An internal rate of return, or IRR, is the discount rate that would cause the net present value, or NPV, of a project to be zero. Net present value is the present value of future cash based on the given annual interest rate. Financial benefit is an estimate of revenue if the demand is approved. It can be manually entered, or values can be entered in a benefit plan, like the cost plans. Financial return is the difference between financial benefit and total planned cost. Do you understand the distinction between a risk and an issue, or how a decision correlates with a change? Let's uncover the answers on this slide. RIDAC stands for risk, issue, decision, action, and change records. A risk is a potential problem that could affect a project's success in terms of scope, schedule, cost, or resources. If a risk actually happens, it becomes an issue that needs to be resolved. To handle a risk or an issue, a decision might be necessary to figure out the best course of action. Often, specific actions are needed to address and resolve issues. Additionally, a change is a formal agreement that a project or demand needs to be modified. This could be due to changes in output or scope requirements, adjustments to start and end dates, or the need for additional costs or resources. Such changes ensure the project stays on track and meets its objectives despite any evolving circumstances. It's important to note that with RIDAC, you can create a risk record for your demand and seamlessly convert it into other records at any stage of the demand lifecycle. A stakeholder is an individual with an interest in or impact from a specific demand. A stakeholder is consulted regarding the demand. Stakeholders are associated with the portfolio. When a portfolio is linked to a demand, stakeholders are automatically populated. Additionally, stakeholders can be manually added to the demand. Stakeholders may serve roles such as those of an approver and assessment recipient. Stakeholders are identified as approvers for demands, and stakeholders who receive a survey when the demand moves to the screening state are the assessment recipients. It's crucial to recognize that when a demand is associated with a particular portfolio, stakeholders are automatically included. However, to adapt to changing requirements, additional stakeholders can be manually added as needed. Stakeholders actively participate in the demand screening process. The demand manager assigns stakeholders either automatically from the portfolio or manually added. To initiate assessments, the demand manager advances the demand to the screening state, triggering surveys for each stakeholder designated as a recipient. Assessments play a crucial role in measuring metrics such as risk and strategic value. Their primary benefit lies in facilitating the collection of group feedback, which enhances decision-making. Each assessment consists of question groups known as metric categories, with each group containing several questions of varying types, such as true or false, numeric scale from 1 to 10, percentage, and so on. Each question or metric category can be assigned a weight for score calculations. 3 key aspects encapsulate the assessment process. They are who, when, and what. Who identifies individuals responsible for completing assessments? These assessments are sent to all stakeholders designated as assessment recipients. When determines the time for the assessment management activities that need to be conducted in the demand lifecycle. Assessments are triggered manually by the demand manager when the state transitions from submitted to screening. What defines the content and topics covered in the assessments? The The default demand assessment includes a series of questions related to risk and business alignment. Customized assessments can be created with the assistance of a system administrator. By default, assessments are due 2 weeks after being sent to an assessment recipient. Assessments can be optionally skipped on a demand using a checkbox labeled Assessment Required on the demand form. Let's have a round of Q&A. What happens when all assessments are completed? Well, the demand automatically moves to the qualified state. The demand metrics include cost, return on investment or ROI, and size. Data for these metrics is captured in the Assessment Data tab. Demand metrics gauge subjective values via an assessment questionnaire or objective values through a database query executed by a script. The query captures direct information regarding cost, size, and ROI. Size estimation considers the required effort, measured using T-shirt sizes adapted from Scrum methodology. Cost is computed as the sum of capital and operational expenses. ROI is calculated as a weighted average of impact and financial return. Once assessments are completed, their results are automatically populated into the demand metrics. Strategic alignment and risk are 2 assessment metrics derived from assessment results. Strategic alignment assesses how well a demand aligns with the organization's strategic goals compared to other demands. A risk, on the other hand, evaluates demand risks relative to other demands. Each category includes several individual metrics, which specify particular attributes or values that contribute to the theme. These metrics are derived from assessment questions and collectively form the assessment metrics. A baseline serves as a fixed point of reference for comparison purposes. It can represent a snapshot of the schedule or financial data. Baseline records are stored in the baselines related list. Financial baselines, specifically in the context of demand, capture the planned cost of the demand, not the actual cost. It's important to note that within demands, baselines exclusively refer to financial baselines.